Okay, welcome everyone to Tell. Luck is our theme for tonight. My name is Greg Newton. I am the co-founder, along with my lovely partner, Donnie Jokum, of the Bureau of General Services Queer Division. And the Bureau is an independent, all-volunteer queer bookstore that we founded in 2012 and that has been here at the LGBT Community Center since 2014. And we're very happy to have Noye step in last minute as our guest host. Dre is not feeling well. Dre, if you're watching, we hope you feel better very soon. We love you. The Bureau has regular business hours Wednesdays through Sundays from 1 to 7 p.m. And then we often stay open later when we have events such as this. So if you want to be on our mailing list, you can sign up for that at the back of the room. By the register, where Evan, our volunteer for tonight, is holding court. And you'll get an email every other Monday about our many upcoming events. So I'm going to pass it back for donations tonight. The donations are all going to our lovely host and our two storytellers. So I'll pass that around. There's change in the bag. If you need it. Also, you can give on Venmo if you like at BGSQD, or just use the QR code on the back of the bag. So I'll pass that around. And before I bring Noye up, I wanted to read a land acknowledgement. So the Bureau acknowledges that our organization operates on the unceded land of the Munsee Lenape. We encourage you to join the Bureau in signing up to make a monthly donation to the American Indian Community Houses Mannahatta Fund. The Mannahatta Fund, according to its website, is an invitation to all settlers and non-native people who wish to acknowledge the legacy of theft and genocide that comprise the history of New York City and the United States. You can find out more at mannahattafund.org. And with that, please welcome our lovely guest host, Noye Brown West. Thank you, love.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tell. All right. I'm gonna take this off for now. Set the mood for everything. Oh man, our theme tonight is luck. Do you all feel lucky today that you're feeling a little bit? Yeah.
We're alive.
Yeah, you're alive, you're feeling healthy. It looks like everyone's social distancing. You can't tell here, but there's literally one seat between everybody. It's pretty good, it's good. Well, thank you all for coming here. I don't know if I have a story about luck. I think I'm a stand-up comic, and I feel like any successes I had in stand-up comedy have been lucky. Really. Yeah. It's like there's a level of preparedness I think everybody who is serious about this job does, and then the rest is literally luck. It's like if people like you, I guess being likable is not lucky though, I guess. That's something that you can learn how to do, is that right? No? To a degree, right? I think it's very lucky I found the correct makeup shade. I think that helped me a lot in stand-up comedy. I'm not wearing it today, but normally, trust me, I have it on. I've been going through it financially. I think we all have, right, in the last 5 years. Oh my goodness, it's just been hit after hit. And then, oh God, I don't even know what's about to happen, but we won't dwell on that. Yeah, we won't dwell on that. But I have been telling people that I'm so broke right now that even the rats in my apartment have starved to death. So that's something. And I think I figured out why they starved to death. It's a true story. I definitely have found starved rats in my apartment. And I think it's because I make everything from hand now. Like I make my bread. I buy ingredients because that is cheaper to do, to buy ingredients than make things yourself. So I just imagine the rats in my kitchen just trying to figure out how to knead dough and just failing and falling over. I think that's something that definitely is real. They were just trying to do that. Let's see, a little bit of luck that I've had recently, other than failing upwards in comedy. Literally. I tend the right people at the right time. I think that does happen in my life. I'm going to be 40 this year coming up. I know, thank you so much. I know. I think, I usually lie to people. I say that I'm gonna be 58, and then people do believe me. They're just like, wow, and then I say 20 years, and they're like, But it's interesting, being a Black woman, people do believe me no matter what age I say. You know, I feel it's because of the Black don't crack thing. So I wonder if that's racist though, you know? Because I'm old on the inside. I am old on the inside. Lots of stuff going on with me there. Honestly, I'm a cancer survivor, but I had a very mild cancer. You do have to say that in the cancer community. It's like a turf war. People don't know. Is anyone? It really is. Is anyone a cancer survivor in this audience? No, but anyone know a cancer survivor? Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And if you only had stage 1, don't even mention it to them. Oh my God, they don't want to hear it. Oh my goodness. It's a crazy turf war. I had colon cancer when I was about 19. It's hard because you get trauma, right? Where you don't even remember when things happen to you. Like I had like a bleeding ulcer when I was a kid. Can't tell you what age that happened. I had lots of health issues. Can't tell you exactly what age. But I think I was around 19, and I had to start getting colonoscopies really, really young because of that. And I've become an old pro at them. I'm not gonna lie. If anyone in here needs pointers for colonoscopies, hit me up, okay? I'll tell you exactly how to do it. I really will. One little clue to everyone I give, like I tell everyone who's about to get a colonoscopy that they should start the prep a day before, right? So do the clear liquids a full day before, and you'll be thanking me when you get your book. Like seriously, it just helps everything come out very easily. It's to the point now where I can be on a road gig, I can be driving somewhere doing my prep. It's amazing, okay? My last birthday, I actually had a colonoscopy scheduled for my birthday. And I had a full birthday party. I had a full birthday party where I had the jug, I didn't drink, I didn't do anything else. I just had the jug with me doing the prep. It was, and I still had a great time. I was dancing. You know what though? We did run out of toilet paper in the bathroom. And if you ask anybody, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, I swear to God. We did run out of toilet paper, it was my fault. And then I went in the next day for my colonoscopy, and it was the best colonoscopy I've ever had in my life. I was so relaxed and refreshed. They give you the good drugs now for colonoscopies. They used to put you under, but if you have a history of anything and they know they're gonna find anything, they give you a drug called propofol, right? And that is a fentanyl and morphine mix. Yeah. I know, isn't that crazy? Wow. I know. What? I know. And it turns out that fentanyl is pretty good when a doctor gives it to you, okay? It's pretty good, unless it's Michael Jackson's doctor or Prince's doctor, okay? Because that is what happened to them, so yeah, that wasn't great. Welcome to the show. And I'm telling everybody how to do colonoscopies, right? Very interesting stuff. I hope everybody at home is enjoying this. But yeah, so they give you the propofol, and so I passed out like you would when you're on heroin, because that is basically what that is, right? And when I came to, I had come to. I had an orgasm during my last colonoscopy. I did. Isn't that wild? It was like my 6th one. I don't know. I know, right? That's very lucky, I feel like. It was my first all clear I've ever had, too. The secret was coming the whole time, okay? It was my first all clear, and you know, the nurses are supposed to be excited for you when that happens, right? The doctors and the nurses, they're supposed to be happy. If they're looking at your chart and like, wow, she doesn't even have a polyp this time, like nothing. But no, they just sent me home. They just sent me home. And when I got home, I ordered one of those endoscopes, the little cameras off Amazon.com, okay? Because I had a new kink, obviously, and a new kink. And then I got my bill probably about, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks later, but it wasn't your average bill. I did not get charged. Damn. It just said, yeah. It said in big letters, you dirty bitch. Okay, so that is what happened. Yeah, I need to go in. Actually, that was a while ago. I said it was my last birthday. I do need to go in for a new one. But my gastroenterologist legit does not like me anymore. So I need to find a new guy. So, like I said, I'm very lucky I meet the right people at the right time. So if you have a referral, please let me know, okay? You do? Oh my goodness, yes. Excellent. All right. Are we feeling ready for stories? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, you have a question?
I have a question.
Yes, what is your question?
Anybody participate in telling the story, or is it like the roll call?
Oh. Do you normally do the participation? If someone wanted to.
Usually Dre invites people in advance, but.
Oh, in advance. So okay. So yeah, join the mailing list and hit them up. Say that you want to tell a story next time. Go to the you can follow Tell Queers on Instagram, and yeah, next time. All right.
I just asked because you're really funny. That's why.
Oh my! You asked because I'm funny. Oh my goodness! You know what's interesting? I feel like that's a new thing. Like when people really like a comic, they want to participate in the show, and that's why you see all these crowd work videos online, right? Is that where that comes from? That feeling of like, when you go to see stand-up comedy, like, have you noticed that a lot of people do crowd work now?
What is that?
Oh, that's when they talk to the audience like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but usually there's a joke somewhere. I'm not doing the right crowd work right now. Whoops.
This is the first time I've been to a comedy show.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a storytelling show. We're kind of giving you a mind flip right now because I am a stand-up comic hosting it, right? But it's a storytelling show. So you might find some of the stories funny, if that's the intended nature, but generally they're just really good stories. I love this show. So you're gonna have a great time. I love storytelling. I should have just told a story. I kind of did. It was just funny. I feel like all my stories have a tinge of that, you know? Yeah. But thank you for coming. Yeah. All right. Keep clap it up for yourselves for being here. All right. I'm gonna introduce your next storyteller. All right. So this storyteller is a writer and performer from Brooklyn. Their book, Stray, Memoir of a Runaway, was named Best Queer in History Bio by The Advocate. Yeah, wow. Tama has a play about being a sleep talker and has also been on NPR, okay? I'm not gonna read the whole thing because I can tell that. All right, so you get your hands, I know, I can tell. I'm like, okay, there's a vibe. Let me not read the whole thing. Guys, get your hands together right now for Tama.
Hello, I'm Tomas, or Tanya. I'm gonna move this away. I'm gonna try to, I've never done this thing, so I'm gonna try to do the best I can. Dre told me to come unprepared, so I have a story, but I'm off the cuff. So just so you know, this is very off the cuff. Thanks, Dre. I hope you're feeling better. So I'm Tomas. Tanya, it's so great to be here. I have some beautiful friends here tonight. I love being here in Manhattan, the center. Love it, love it, love it. So I have a story that I have told many times, and it's called The Triple Death Fuckers. And it's the story that I share with my beautiful friend Jason, who lives in Salish Land, aka Vancouver. And we're very old friends. We've been friends for like 25 years or something like this. And I met Jason many, many years ago when I was like 27. And we moved in together. Like I was upstairs with my partner and he was downstairs with his partner. And we just got along so well that we started opening up the floors and we have dinners together. Jason has a son who's now like crazily like 30, but I met Wylan when he was 4. Super cute little kid. And we did like, I had a cat, they'd take care of my cat, I'd take care of Wylan. We kind of became this like beautiful little family. And then we both broke up with our partners. And it was brutal. It was like that breakup where like, you're never gonna talk to this person again, or they're like showing up at 3 o'clock in the morning yelling. Like, it was just one of those breakups where you're like, fuck, you know, it really takes you down. And after the initial flush of that was over, we really clung to each other like, you know, starfish on the shore, just like, oh my God, like, let's just like stick this out and see how this works. And we became this family. I was a poor starving artist then, I'm a poor starving artist now. So, and Jason is a wildlife biologist, and he's like, I've got you, you know, we're gonna keep being together, you know, you take care of my son, and like, we've got this cat, and I'm just gonna pay more rent, and we're just gonna keep living in this house, which was incredible. And so that, obviously, all of that bonded us even more. We were even more together. So the summer falls away, and then the fall moves into the winter, and Jason gets a lover, this little ski bum from Creston, which is about 2 hours outside of this little sapphic queer town called Nelson. And she's cute, and she comes in and out of the city. It's about 5 hours, I want to say, to drive from there, from Vancouver to Creston. And Creston is in this valley, and there's all these ski hills and stuff, and lots of ski people live there, and lesbians. So she's really great, and they're going back and forth. I'm not dating anybody. I'm like off dating. And but I have a friend, Shelly, who lives in Nelson and is with her partner, who in 2004 came out as trans, which is amazing. But it's 2004 in a small Sapphic town. And she called me and said, can you come here and be a supportive friend and hang out with us? And I said, of course. And at the time, Jason was like, I want to go and visit my ski bum lover. And we decided that we should go on a road trip. Jason has this great truck. It's super awesome because he's a wildlife biologist, so he drives through the bush and like all these different places. He's got a good car, and it's the winter, right? So we're gonna drive, and you drive for a few hours, you go up, over, and then into the valley. So there's a bit of a part where it gets really snowy and kind of a bit treacherous, which is fine because Jason's a wildlife biologist and he knows what he's doing. So he gets together all these CDs because it's back in the CD days, and we pack up the truck, and we start to drive with Wyland. So we drop Wyland off at his grandfather's house, and we begin our drive to our prospective friends and lovers. Now, we're very good friends. We love each other very much. Jason doesn't put on any CDs at all because it's one of those car rides where you just like end up talking and like really connecting with the person that you're driving with. There's no need to put on music. Like we barely even stopped. We were so into each other and just like heart to heart, like really, really beautiful conversation, you know, it kind of very rarely happens. It's really amazing. So like 4 or 5 hours, we're just talking, sharing, and it's really amazing. We start driving up into the mountains, and it goes from being like cold, some places where there's some snow in the, you know, off to the side of the road, and then we start driving up, and there's more snow, because we're going up like into the mountains. And unbeknownst to me, we get into the highest part of the pass, and the thing that I don't know because I don't have a driver's license, that's a whole other story, I don't know how to drive, is that we're on black ice, and I don't know this. And Jason knows this, but he's feeling fine about it because he's this wildlife biologist. He knows everything about wildlife. But he knows that it's snowing, it's an intense snow, but it's still visible, and we're on black ice, and everyone's going pretty slow, you know, and it's like, okay, we're just gonna go over the pass. And we're about 20 minutes from Creston, I think. Now, what happens is we start to slide. We start to slide on the black ice, and we swerve into incoming traffic. Now, what I'm about to tell you happened about like 0.5 seconds, but for me, it's like 5 hours, because everything slowed down pretty immediately. But we swerved into oncoming traffic. We were in the mountains, and there was a huge semi-truck driving towards us, also on black ice, couldn't stop. There was nothing that it could do, and it starts like, whoo, whoo, like honking like this. And we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And just as like it was gonna slam into us, we swerved back into our lane, narrowly escaping death. And then the car behind us, which was also a big truck, not a semi, but a big old truck, started honking because it was on black ice and it couldn't stop. So there was that. And just as that we were about to be hit in the back by the truck, we went into the embankment. Now, we went into the embankment, we hit the embankment, and we went up, and now we're in the air, okay? Me and Jason are both Scorpios. We've been waiting for this moment our entire life. We don't scream, we don't yell, nothing. We just go, Jason goes, this is it. And I go, I know. And we go up into the air. We're not, like, nothing. Like, and we actually literally start to go, like, up and to the side. And I think, and this is like, again, 0.5 seconds, but it was incredibly, time completely had stopped. And I thought, this is gonna be it. Like, this is it, I'm gonna die. And it's gonna be painful, it's gonna be fucking horrible. I'm gonna slam onto the concrete or whatever it is that's beyond this embankment, and it's going to shatter my bones, and I'm gonna be smushed in this car. So I'm preparing for that as we go up. Okay, this is it. And what happens is, and we land in these pillowy, snowy, amazing, like, it's all new snow. It was like down comforters. Basically, we landed in down comforters. Like nothing, like no impact at all. It didn't feel like anything. However, the windows did smash, and we were like, Jason is here and I'm here. So this is our orientation. And the windows smash and we start to slide. And I go, oh, this is how I'm gonna die. The car starts filling up with snow. And I'm going to be buried alive in snow, and then I'm going to die. This is how it's going to happen. Okay, so I'm like, basically, because I'm like, so the snow's like going like up like this, like that, and we're sliding. Not saying anything, because we've been prepared for this moment our whole lives. Nobody screamed, nobody cried, nothing. And like, it literally gets to the point, like, you know, in the movie where the person goes like, oh, and like it gets covered by the water. It's like, I was right at that point, and the car just like stopped. It didn't slide to a stop, there was no screeching, nothing, just poof, it just stopped. And then we just stopped. And then Jason said, I'm okay, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm all right, I'm gonna climb out. Okay, I'll climb out after you. He climbs out of the smashed door on his side. There's no glass in it at all, it completely shattered. He climbed out, I climbed out after him, and now we're both standing up to like just basically below our chests in deep, freshly fallen snow. We had our seatbelts on, which I found out later did in fact save our lives, and the car didn't explode, which also was kind of a surprise. And we're standing there, like, basically in shock, and we hear this voice from up on the road, like, anyone alive down there? And then, of course, the two of us prepared this whole time for this. Yeah, we're good, we'll come up. We climb up. Like, it's a steep embankment, okay? And we climb up and we get onto the road, and somehow the car in front of us and the car behind us had stopped and made this sort of makeshift thing where they were protecting whoever they thought was dead, and people were kind of going around on the black ice. So they'd made this sort of like makeshift thing while they were waiting for the cops or whoever was gonna come and like check it out. I get up, Jason immediately goes and sits in the van, and I light a cigarette, and I just start chain smoking cigarettes. Jason realizes that he's left his CDs in the van and goes back down for them at great personal cost. We're yelling at, dude, you do not need to do this. There's no reason for you to go back down. He's like, I need my CDs. I need my CDs. He goes out and he gets them, and he just like holds them like they're like a little baby bunny, and he's in the car. The cops do come. They tell it like what happened, we tell them what happened, they kind of look over whatever, they get a sense of what's happening. They're Creston police. And they say, where do you want me to take you? Or take the two of you? And take us to a bar, take us to a seedy, crusty bar. And they drive us to the town, which is this little bum ski town, and to this scuzzy, sticky floored place. And we go in, and I immediately order, this is back in my drinking days, I no longer drink, I order a bottle of wine for myself, which was actually not that unheard of at the time. But that's what I get. Jason, who rarely drinks and is not really a drinker, gets a pitcher of beer. And we sit there, and he just scrapes ice off of his CD, the jackets of his CD. At least the CDs made it. The CDs. And I go and I call my mentor at the time, this wonderful dramaturg named Don Kugler, and I leave this very intense message on his answering machine, which he plays back for me about 3 weeks later. I call, hey Don, wait a minute, deep, and he just like literally plays. I'm like, Don, something's happened. I can't believe I'm still alive. I call Shelly also and I say, hey, I'm going to be a day. I'm not going to be arriving tonight. Now, bear in mind, I'm still not in any way registering that, like, I have no broken bones, my leg isn't broken, there's no tendons, like, sticking out of my face, like, nothing. Jason's glasses didn't fall off his face. Like, nothing happened, no scratch, nothing. We go back to his beautiful lover's house. We hang out. She has a dog. She has a little girl. She's a really wonderful person, and she puts me up in the guest room. I wake up the next day and I do yoga. Like, I'm feeling better than I have in like months. I'm like, this is a great way to get over a breakup. And we have to go back. So we have to go back to the scene of the crime, basically. Okay. So we go back to the scene of the crime. And the car is still there in the embankment, and this is when we discovered, because it was night time when we had this accident, which made it even more scary. But we go back and we look, and about 10 feet on either side of where we slid down this embankment were two ancient trees, two old growth trees. And if we had been 10 feet off in either direction, we would have slammed directly into these gigantic trees, which would have killed us instantly. Then, 20 feet in front of us, there was a hard drop, like 200 feet, into a rocky, craggy lake. So if we would have slid another 20 feet, we would have fallen to our fucking doom, which is when we turned to each other and we said, triple death fuckers? Correct. Triple death fuckers. So, okay. So we tried to take the car to a place. There's no saving the car. Jason ended up getting like $300 for it, and Jason ended up getting $300 for it, and that was that. And I went to Shelly's, ended up having a great weekend. It was totally fun. It was totally amazing. And Jason, when he dropped me off, he's like, look, like, I'm gonna come pick you up. I'm gonna get the best fucking car there is. There's gonna be chains around the wheels. Like, we're not gonna fuck around on the way home. Because the only way to get in and out is that same pass. So we knew we had to drive back the same way we came. And he was like, I've got you. Like, I swear to God. Great. So like 3 or 4 days later, I've had a great winter break. And Jason pulls up in a moving van, a very small moving van. And I get in, and I also have a bunch of, I was not a pot smoker, I was a drinker. So I had a bunch of Rescue Remedy, So I was like downing Rescue Remedy, like, I've gotta chill, man, I just gotta stay calm. Get in the car, go home. And I get in, and there's a seatbelt, and he's like, okay, he starts driving. He's like, all right, I got 2 things to tell you. One is this car is impenetrable. Nothing is gonna fuck with this car. The tires, everything is really good. The other thing is that we have to go pick up Wyland, and there's no other seatbelts in the car besides these 2. Wyland gets the seatbelt, and you have to sit in the back of the van, and you cannot freak out because he's a 4-year-old kid. So you cannot lose your shit with my kid. And I was like, fuck me. But I love this kid, I've been living with this kid for like over a year. So we drive, and I'm trying to stay super calm, and I'm losing my shit the whole time and like downing all this Rescue Remedy. We pick up Wyland. I get into the back. Wyland turns around. He's like, Tan? No. And we start driving through the pass, and the whole time I'm just like, I'm just like barely fucking holding it together. And every time Wyland turns to look at me, I'm like keeping it together, hoping that like he's not. I don't want him to freak out, And then we drive the whole way, we do make it, and as we're driving over the bridge back towards our house, Wyland turns to Jason and says, Daddy, where's Chug Chug? Which is the name of the car that we drove in. He didn't even register, like, wait a minute, it took him like 5 hours, like, where's the car we drove? And Jason said, Chug Chug gave his life for us. And then recounted the story of how we like almost died. And later that night, me and Jason were talking about it, and obviously we literally called everybody that we knew, like, holy shit, like I almost died, like I can't believe this, we're the triple death fuckers. And Jason was like, whether we stay friends, like whether we know each other in the future, whether we become strangers, like, or whether like we know each other for the rest of our lives, like we will never be separated. Like this is always going to keep us together because we cheated death so many times this weekend. And in fact, we are still friends. We've been friends for over 20 years. we just went on a trip to Mexico together. I'm still friends with Wylan, and we're still these really beautiful, wonderful friends. And that's a triple death fuckers. That's my story. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I am short. Thank you so much. Here we're going for Thomas. Tomas, yeah. Marquardt. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're alive.
Thank you.
Woo. I witnessed a woman slide on black ice. It was during the day into the woods, and just like you, perfectly wedged between two trees. So that's so lucky. That is very lucky. Narrow escape.
Yes.
Oh, you had me. I was in the back like, oh god. I felt like I was. I love the first day when a movie comes out. And you get like the teenagers in there and they're all like giving the commentary. That was me in the back during your show. I was like, oh, I know everyone, yeah, everyone was sick of me. I already know that. Welcome, grab a seat. Come on in. Welcome to Tell. Yeah, come on in, everybody. There's plenty of seats.
That's a legend right there.
Yeah?
That's a
Oh,
legend right there.
yes. Thank you for coming. I already know y'all were keeping tabs on the live stream on your way here because you knew it was gonna be pretty good. Grab a seat, come on in, we'll wait for you. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I am the host though, don't worry, so come on in, grab some seats. Welcome to Tell, I love this. I have yellow glasses, same color.
I know, that's why I wore this today.
Yeah, the match.
I heard about your yellow glasses.
Yeah.
I thought I'd arrive in harmony.
Yes, harmony. We love that. We're just welcoming people. We just got a big group of people in. It's great. Gang's all here. Oh, the yellow jacket I was talking about. You just saw it on the live stream.
Mhm.
Thank you all for watching on the live stream too, everybody that's there. And I hope you feel better soon, Dre. All right. Okay. All right, well that's it. Everybody's cozy in. Come on in. Yeah, there's a blue coat back there. You can move it, because that's just me. I can grab a seat anywhere. Just come on in, grab a seat. Yeah, come on. All right, we're gonna keep the show going. How about that? Yeah, everybody excited for that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so we have the final storyteller. There were only two this time, so you didn't miss like 3 or 4 people. You missed one storyteller. This storyteller was born in upstate New York, and they are queer transmasculine, and they're an organizer, artist, and historian. They currently serve as New Pride Agenda's interim, I can read, executive director. In 2021, they were selected as a community fellow through the Mellon Initiative for Emerging Scholars at the New School. Ooh, okay, that's a good place to end it. Okay, y'all. Ooh, all right, everyone get your hands together right now for Key Williams. Woo! All right.
I too am short.
Oh yeah, we're all short.
And I'm gonna sit down, and I'm not gonna have as much of a remarkable story. This is a good light though for me. I don't know about y'all, for y'all. My name is Key Williams, as was said. And similarly, Dre just DM'd me, was like, hey, do you want to talk about luck on March 15th? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I think I did this tell before, like several years ago. And I don't remember what it was exactly about. And so I thought it'd be a really good idea to tell some kind of more softer stories, not as much laughter. I'll try my best. But I'm a Cancer, and so I just have lots of softness in me. And there are folks here, but I did have an idea because I'm an organizer. And so like one of the things I wanted to invite folks in this room to do would to actually be to turn to the person that's your neighbor and spend 2 minutes defining luck. What is luck to you? 2 minutes. And we're gonna let the folks at home, maybe you, or if you're home, maybe you sit and you journal and you talk about it, but I wanna allow folks in this room to discuss what is luck to you? What's luck to you, my dear?
Yeah. As soon as I heard the word key, I said, oh, I didn't see it. How you doing?
I've been good.
Well, there's been some things. A sanctuary casita has been named after me upstate.
As it should be.
And look at this. My friend Lara sent me this, and it says, are you ready for this? Look at this. Gavin Newsom. Fuck you. These fucking Democrats.
30 more seconds. If you haven't, please switch with your partner. Again, what is luck to you?
I wanted to show you. I think it's really funny. Why is it that when I want to look for something, I can't find it? Well, because somebody texted it to me. Oh, I know who it was. It was Bob Williams. Show it to you. So, aren't you going to talk now?
I'm gonna talk for a little bit, yeah. All right, so let's finish up our story. Let's finish up telling our story. Just on the front end of that, like when you first thought about luck and you had like actually think about it, was it hard to think about luck in a concept? And I think about luck for me is like, when I was thinking about this particular evening, I was like, some call it luck, but I would call it a blessing. And we're in the midst right now. I was raised interfaith. So my mom is Christian, most of my family is Christian. My dad was incarcerated and came out Muslim. We'd share that, coming out stories, and rejection. And because of that, I was raised interfaith, so I have practices of both faiths, which is really interesting for a lot of people in my life that meet me, because I practice, like we're in Ramadan right now, so I practice Ramadan, and I'm really intentional about it during the season of Ramadan. And then the rest of the time during the year, I will bug my dear friend who is Jewish about just different biblical, like, spiral holes that we go through together on these different, like, narratives and pathways. And so when I think about luck, I think about it really in a realm of spirituality. I think about it in these kind of moments, as you were saying, of like meeting the right person at the right time, or just like 10 feet off this way, 10 feet off that way, right? Like all the things that you said. And then I kind of felt a little bit, what's the word we're looking for? Obnoxious. Because I start thinking about all the times in my life I've been lucky, and I'm just like, damn, am I that person? Am I just that lucky all of the time? You know, like, or is God just looking out for me all the time? One of the things I often say to people is like, for example, I'm short, right? We all agree on that collectively in this organizing space. And I'll often say, well, God kept me short because he has to keep me humble, right? Like I have this relationship with God where I blame him for things and I try to be kind in it. But I'm short because it would keep me humble, because if I was 4 inches taller, I would be a demon. And I'm already halfway there, for real. So yeah, and so I was thinking about, you know, I think about my family a lot, and one of the stories that comes to mind with me and being lucky, like I've been lucky since birth, and I believe that entirely. And so I'll tell what I think is the story of my birth, which is like, how the fuck do I really know that? That's like all these different stories that my family members have told me. And then I will end with kind of this poem that I wrote that really talks about the story of my birth through this processing of synthesizing what my family has told me is the case. I do want to start off and say that I'm already starting. What am I talking about? My family is from the South, but I was raised in upstate New York, and I'm an abolitionist and I'm a movement organizer. And one of the things for me when I think about abolition is these kind of two core elements that I've been thinking about for a long time, which is that in order to be an abolitionist or believe in abolition, you have to have safety and you have to have the right to home. And those things as an abolitionist for me are really crucial. And so when I started doing my work and my research, I actually wanted to look back at home, but home for me is just upstate New York. It's a small town, bumblefucknowhere.com. Like 60,000 people, and I have all different types of stories about that upbringing. But I remember talking to my grandmother who's from the South and asking her explicitly, like, why here, right? Like, why here? Of all the places we could have ended up, why here? And she, told me for the first time, and this was a few years ago, that she was actually fleeing from domestic violence in the 1960s. And she had her favorite cousin, Gavin, who had just come home from the war, had came home from whatever fucking war that was, I don't know. But he was on a military base. And she was, her ex-husband, first husband, was extremely violent, and basically her cousin has said, if you can get here to bumblefuck New York, he can't find you, right? And so for me, thinking through abolition in the different ways that throughout history and people have had to flee from different places and spaces to find safety, and oftentimes those spaces are attached to kind of these like weird instances of like, if I can just get here, or if I end up in this place. And all through my life, I have experienced these moments of safety through other people that I met along the way. And when I was preparing for this, it was like, oh, I can do this talking point around like the different, I can brag to y'all about how lucky I've been in my life, which doesn't sound fun to me now that I'm up here. Because how can I follow up on a car crash in bumblefuck Montreal, Vancouver, Creston, and Snowbanks? So I'm kind of remixing in real time. You missed it. See what happens? You come and fly, but then you missed the better of the two stories, quite honestly. The advocate said so therefore it is. Therefore it is. Okay. My mom is Christian and grew up in this really strict Christian Black household, went to church all of the time, and that's a separate story. My dad come from Southern parents that had a really cute love story. I love my grandparents' love story. Like, it's so cute. Like, my grandmother got a job off of like a bet, then like she was there for 35 years, but it was like, I bet you won't go apply for that job. And she's like, I bet you I will. And then she was there for 35 years. Like, it's just a really cute love story between the two of them. And apparently what attracted my mom to my dad though was that he was different than the other Black guys. Y'all aren't here, this is a room full of white people. So there might be eight persons of color. This one, he said me. He said it's me, I am the person. Right, but she's like, he was different than other Black guys. And I'm like, what made him different, Mom? She goes, your grandmother dressed him like out of JCPenney catalog. And I was like, so it was the khakis and the sweater that did it for my mom, with my dad, with Keith. And that was her little love boo, I guess, I don't know. But I am one of 15. And I am the only living child between my mom and my dad. And so I had a sibling that my parents had like 2 years after me, and he passed away as a 2-year-old. And so I have several siblings. I have lots of siblings, but I sometimes also only see myself as an only child, which I'm okay with. I don't know if my siblings are okay with it. I'm also the favorite grandchild, which also I'm okay with. There's that. But the story of my birth, let's get into it. So my mom, well, I can't even get in there because I have to tell y'all that my mom went into labor with me while she was walking across the stage of her high school graduation.
Whoa.
She was 18, my dad was 19 going on 20, and it's her high school graduation. I'm also born on Pride, so like anytime my parents have anything to say about my queerness, I'm like, y'all, I was born on Pride Sunday. Like, this is all y'all. This is all y'all here for real. It's not on me. At all. I take nothing. It's never my fault. And so my mom goes into labor while she is literally walking across the stage of her high school graduation. And so she's in labor, she's in the hospital. Not only that, she was in labor for 27 hours. And I was coming out wrong, the wrong way. And also umbilical cord was like wrapped around my throat, and both she and I were in very dire situations. She's losing oxygen, like losing blood, I'm losing oxygen, and it's in the middle of birth. And one of the things that my grandmother, not my dad's mom, my mom's mom, R.I.P. Jack, she's a gem. The story goes that she says to the doctors, I don't know that baby that's in there, but I know that baby that's over here, and y'all better save mine. My grandma's ready to kill me. That's what, and she stood by that 10 toes, like to the day she died. She's like, I don't know that baby, but I know my baby, and y'all better save mine. And that was the energy that she was moving with my birth. But the fact that just from my birth, and I was like also, I'm still short and small, but I was also like on time, but severely underweight. Like I was like less than 4 pounds. So my mom always had this like energy towards me because she's like, bitch, like 27 hours, high school graduation, I almost died. My mom is a Scorpio sag, so it's always like, but come on y'all, like to the max of like drama and theatrics and always somebody else's fault. Maybe that's where I get that from. But like I could never let that down my entire life, that like I almost killed her. What about me? I almost killed her, right, in birth. And my grandmother was ready to sacrifice me. This is my narrative, right? You hear it? It's like my grandmother was ready to sacrifice me. I almost killed my mom, right? These are all the things that are happening in my brain. But the funniest thing from that is the fact that my grandmother was just like, kill that baby, and that's how I take it, and I don't care what anybody else says. So that's just my takeaway. But I'm a movement organizer, and like I just think about all the different moments throughout my life that I've lucked up. Like my dad's mom also took me on kind of picket lines with her, and so there's a funny family story where they're like, there's a baby on the line, and it was me. There's like all these different moments. So I'm gonna pivot from the birth story into a poem, and then we will just kind of end there. Yeah, does that feel good? It's toasty in here, or at least toasty up here. They say your first poem doesn't start until you begin telling the truth. So truth be told, I shouldn't be here right now. Truth be told, I shouldn't be here right now. When my mother was in labor with this young seed, her own body wrapped its vines around me and twisted the air out of both I and she. So I shouldn't be here right now. I shouldn't have memories of the way my father's back always looked when he walked out of the door, looming like the black shadowy figure and the stranger that I've never known. I shouldn't have scars on the inside of my thighs that remind me of what it actually means to be in too deep. Please, you are in too deep and I am drowning, gasping for breath and trying to make sense of a little bit of life that I have left, because I shouldn't be here right now. My whole life I've been told there's a lot of potential that only I know how to reach. And yet, I never could understand how my uncle could be a believer in all those Corinthian scriptures that he used to preach and not be here with us right now. I never could understand how a mother's womb could stretch open, breathe life into the lungs of 8 babies and only end up with 6. Still, here on this path, remembering footsteps filled with anger and rage that Hennessy knows how to push anyone to, regardless of your age. So believe me when I say that I shouldn't be here right now. Walking across stages, placed in lines of published pages, Still in love with Caravaggio after dropping out, once realizing that my true heartbeat wouldn't allow me to keep the lights on because though I love you, art is not always for pay, never for you to steal, and requires too much patience for someone who's fearful of making mistakes. And still, I consider it beautiful. I have known love. She crept her way into my room, gave me a ring, and told me that forever and always she'd be here for me. And that's one lie that I have yet to prove. Still, on days like this, all I can do is look back and think, I shouldn't be here right now. Yet, here I am, and here you are, and together we will be, regardless. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Key. That was amazing. We're gonna pass this around one more time because we got a lot of latecomers to, and if anyone joined late, please Venmo BGSQD. There you go. Take a screenshot of that. And yeah, I'm gonna pass this around, just pass back. If you already put money in, then that's fine. If you didn't, that's fine too. Yeah, and then, oh man, all right, I need to decompress. All these are so good. This is, what was the thing that I was saying before? Because it was about Lucky, right? And I was just saying Britney Spears. Like, that's all I could think of to end. Usually I would sing like Sarah McLachlan when I put the bag to the audience for donations, because we come near and far for this, right? And and you know what? I'm a comic. You guys are storytellers. I'm sure we could use some extra dough, and so can this beautiful robe, right? Yeah. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, in the emptiness that you feel. All right, that's enough of that. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I dropped the register because you know what? I've been talking for hours already. Like I had 2 shows before this. All right, thank you so much for watching online. I've been Noe Brown West. Please follow and like and subscribe to the comedians that you saw, or sorry, the storytellers you saw tonight. If you go to Tell Queers on Instagram, you can find all the information you need about how to follow them. And yeah, have a great rest of your night there. Have a great rest of your night here. Please hang out for a little bit and come say hello. And please sign up for the newsletter. All right, I've been Noye. Have a great night. Anything you said?
Dre, do you want a picture of the performers?
Oh yeah, let's get a picture with the performers. And feel better soon, Dre. All right.
Good night.